If this is your first time joining me, my name is Moon and welcome. If you are returning, welcome back. Instead of breaking generational curses, how about this year we focus on unlocking generational superpowers? We are our ancestors' greatest, biggest, wildest dreams. And they left us with information in order to fulfill those dreams. We each play a role in the future of our genes, of our genetics, of our generations, we're going to be ancestors one day. And it's our job to use those superpowers to build generational wealth. And I don't necessarily mean that in an economic sense. I mean that in a wealth of intelligence, a wealth of nutrition, because some of us don't, deal with generational poverty. Some of us deal with generational curses that have to do with relationships. Some of us deal with generational or genetics or genes that influence what kind of illnesses we are likely to get. And so when I say generational wealth, I mean that in an all-encompassing sense of the word. Economic wealth, health, all of that. This year, I challenge each of us to be grateful for the superpowers our ancestors gave us. All in all, what I'm trying to say is this country, this world that we live in, like to feed us trauma porn, like to think that healing is all painful sometimes, and that in order to do better, you gotta tap into energies that are negative and transmute them. But sometimes some of the work is learning about the strengths that you have in order to overcome the obstacles that you have noted. Sometimes the work is in recognizing that your intelligence is not in the sense of science or math, but sometimes it's emotional intelligence, and that can be used for your family, that can be used for your friends, that can be used for your work. Sometimes the work is in loving yourself fully and completely. And yes, you have flaws. And yes, there will be obstacles to overcome. But what I'm telling you is that your strengths, the superpowers your ancestors gave you, are way greater, are way more powerful, and are way more useful. So instead of breaking generational curses, let's unlock those generational superpowers, y'all. And so you may be wondering, well, how do I unlock generational superpowers? How do you unlock generational curses? How do you? How do we know that's what it is? Intuition. Tap in. That's a form of intelligence. Simply put, one of the ways that I have tapped into my generational superpowers is I give gratitude and thanks to my ancestors. I feed them, I nourish them, I write them. And sometimes I'm talking to the ancestors I know, but Unintentionally, I'm talking to the ones I never did. Because that could be where my superpowers come from. And in return, they communicate back. And some of you may not believe in this. And if you don't, you wouldn't be here. But, you know, the universe, God, ancestors, whatever you want to refer to them as, they communicate to you in different ways. It could be in the words of a song that resonates so deeply with you. It could be through dreams. It could be through food. It could be through poetry. It could be, you know, it could be through anything, through nature. You got to get out there. You got to figure out your ancestry. You got to, you know, knowing is the first step. Get information about yourself, where you come from, who your ancestors were. And that's where you can start. And I challenge you to do that.